Hi guys, so here you are, your very last unit assessment in everyday math. You ready? Okay, please start over here and put your name and number. You know the drill. Divide shapes into equal parts, means they're all the same. Measure lengths of objects. Write 3-digit numbers in expanded form, so take 312, 300 plus 10 plus 2. Use greater than, less than, equal to compare 3-digit numbers. So looking at the numbers and comparing the hundreds place first. If they're the same, you move on to the tens place. And you continue to move on until you find one area that's higher than the other. Solve number stories about equal groups. Solve 2-digit subtraction problems. Unit 9, number 1. Divide this shape into fourths. Fourths meaning 4 parts. Please divide this shape into 4 parts. Can you name one of those parts? So look up here, name one of those parts. What would that be called? Now name all of the parts. The whole thing, what would that be called? Number 2, we're going to do the exact same thing with a rectangle, but this time we're going to use thirds. So divide this into thirds. Remember the trick I taught you. If I have to put it into 3 parts, how many lines am I going to draw? Nice. Now you're going to name one of those parts right here. Can you tell me what one of those parts would be called? Now can you tell me what all of the parts in this rectangle would be called if I wanted all of them? Great. Here we go. Now, I have a lot of things going on here, but I'm going to help you out. Can you measure the length of this line segment right here to the nearest inch? Please be careful. It has to be to the nearest inch. Okay. This is the line you're going to measure to the nearest inch, and you're going to write the answer right here. Now, in part B, you're going to draw a line segment 1 inch longer. So you're going to redraw this line segment, but you're going to draw it down here on your own. You know how many inches, you put it right here. How many inches was that? Draw it here. Now could you add 1 more inch to the end of that? Extend that line segment 1 more inch. My line segment is about blank inches long. Can you measure this line segment that you drew here? Can you measure that whole thing and tell me how long it is now? Knew you could. Let's look at number 4. Write each number in words. Please do not rewrite the numbers. Do not write any numbers at all. Please say 413 and write 413. Say 431 and write 431 in words. Okay, B. Now you're going to write these numbers in expanded form. So you're going to pull these, stretch them apart. Remember how we talked about stretching these numbers out? We say them out loud and we write the numbers of what we say. Here we wrote words, now we write numbers. You will do 413. Now you do 431. 413, 431. Nice. We're once again using 413 and 431, but you need to compare these numbers and write greater than, less than, equal to in this little box. Remember, for my visual learners who may be having a problem with this, remember the trick I taught you about setting one number on top of the other so we're not tricked. Number 5, Brenda put her stuffed animals in 2 rows on her bed. There are 8 stuffed animals in each row. How many stuffed animals does she have in all? You're going to write how many stuffed animals right here. For those of you that may need it, and I suggest it, can you draw me 2 rows right here? Remember how rows, remember row, row, row your boat? Which way do rows go? Okay, now can you put 8 stuffed animals in each one of those rows? Make sure there's only 8 in each one. How many stuffed animals in all? Count them. Addition number model. So can you take what we read up here or what you drew over here, and can you write me an addition number model? Remember what happens at the end of addition number model. If you don't have that in there, then we're going to have a bit of a problem. Thank you. Number 6. 10 children divided into 2 teams to play kickball. Each team has an equal number of children. How many children are on each team? So let's think about this. We go outside and I only have 10 of you. And I go, okay, 10, I have to be careful. I only have 10 of you. And I need to divide you guys into equal teams so that I have the same number on the field getting ready to play and the same number behind the plate getting ready to kick. So you got to think about that. How many would that be on the field and how many would be getting ready to kick? We only have 10 kids all in 2 teams. Could you do a number array right here to draw that out? Yeah, that would work. That would totally work. You could also draw 2 circles here and divide them up. One for you, until you get to 10 if you want. Whatever works for you, I'm okay with. How many children are on one of the teams? Put it right here. That same number should be the same for each team. Now, could you write me an addition number model using the information here that you learned and here? Can you write me an addition number model? Addition, please. Number 7. Write a number sentence to show a ballpark estimate and then solve and show your work. You must show your work, boys and girls. Okay, so right here we have 34. Can you round 34 and put your answer right here? Right to minus. Now take 17, round that and put your answer here. Don't forget to write equals question mark. That's our number sentence. Now we're going to take 34 minus 17 down here and solve it. Get the actual real answer. I don't mind whichever way you want to solve it. If you want to use longs and cubes, I don't care. If you want to actually borrow, I don't care. You show me the way you want to solve it and I'll accept it. Now put your answer right down here when you have that done. Please check your ballpark estimate and your answer. Think about that. Come on over here, do the same thing. Remember when we have 127, what was the trick I taught you guys? What numbers do you need to look at when we get into the hundreds for rounding? Put your answer here, minus, round 44 and put your answer there. Okay, now come down here and solve it in any way you want. I'm okay with that. And put your answer down here. We just did this, yay! Number 8. How much money is 10 nickels? Count 10 nickels. You know how much a nickel is worth, right? Get that in your head. Think about what we did yesterday. Now count 10 of those right here. Put your answer. How many is 10 fives? Count by fives. 10 times. Put your answer here. How much money is 7 dimes? Count 7 dimes. Put your answer here. How many is 7 tens? Count by tens 7 times and put your answer here. Okay, we're going to use only quarters, dimes, nickels, and pennies to show at least one way to pay for the orange juice. They actually have you showing 2 ways, so we're going to just go with that. So you cannot use $1, you cannot use a $50, and yes, it needs to be exact change, and thank you for thinking of that. I know some of you are wondering. You can use quarters as many times, dimes, nickels, and pennies as many times as you want. Can you show me 89 cents one way in this area? Perfect. Now show me 89 cents in another way here. It has to be in a different way. You cannot use the same thing. I mean, you can still use quarter, dime, nickel, and penny, but you can't use the same amount. Okay? Number 11. You are going to take the shape. I know how much you guys love this. And you're going to divide the shape into thirds. 3. So each one of us has to have the same amount. So there's 3 of us sharing the shape, and we all have to have the same amount. Remember what to do with these dots. And then please make your lines dark enough so I can see where you divided that. Okay, we're on our challenge. Yay! A. Claude has 2 rows of pea plants in his garden. There are 7 pea plants in each row. How many pea plants are in the garden? Okay, so let's do this. You can draw this out. Can you draw me 2 rows? Remember, row, row, row your boat. And now there's 7 pea plants in each row. Put 7 pea plants in each row. How many pea plants are there all together? Count them all. Put your answer right here. Beautiful. Okay, we are going to use this and the story, and we are going to write an addition number model for it now. So come down here to the blue where it says addition number model. And can you come up here and use all this info that you have from here all the way through here and give me an addition number model. So look at your numbers that you used here, here, and here, and give me an addition number model. Don't forget equals and what it equals. Beautiful. Now you are going to do the same thing. You're going to use this number and this number and this number, and you are going to write me in a multiplication number model, which I know you guys can do because you guys are really grooving in this multiplication. So can you use those numbers and write me an a multiplication number model right here? Thank you. Okay, so now you got to think and write in a sentence and tell me step by step what you did in your brain and how you knew this. Okay, don't just write down some numbers and be like, because I'm smart. Because we all know you're smart, but now you got to show me that smartness, okay? How did you know which numbers to use in your addition number model? So when you used this here, how did you know which numbers to use? Can you tell me down here? Remember capitals and punctuation. Okay, let's do the same thing. How did you know which numbers to use in your multiplication number model? Can you put that down here? Capitals and punctuation. And we're on to our very last one. Our very last one, boys and girls. Woohoo! Okay, so you have 2 same shapes. You need to divide both of these shapes into 4 equal parts. But here's the trick, boys and girls. Just like with showing our money 2 different ways, you have to show how to divide these 2 same shapes in 2 different ways. So first, let's concentrate on one. Can you figure out how to divide this one into 4 equal parts? Beautiful, beautiful. Now you're going to come over here and you're going to divide this shape into 4 equal parts again, the same way. They're going to get the same amount, 4 equal parts, but show me with lines doing a different thing in a different way. So here you put your lines in one way. Here you're going to show me putting your lines in a different way. You figure out how, and I'm okay with that, but make sure they both have 4 equal parts. Excellent. So proud of y'all. I am so proud of you guys. You guys have been beautiful all year. Congratulations.